time in which I said, our sit-down split evenly between the global initiative and anything else we wanted to add. But as you'll see now in the full, unedited interview, that's not how it turned out. Mr. President, welcome to Fox News Sunday. In a recent issue of the New Yorker, you say, quote, I'm 60 years old, and I'm worried about how many lives I can save before I do that. Does that drive you in your efforts to help in these developing countries? Yes, I really, but I don't mean the tone in which I said it was actually almost whimsical and humorous. That is, this is what I love to do. It is what I think I should do. That is, I've had a wonderful life. I got to be president. I got to live out my dreams. God's to do it. We don't have problems. And I really think I owe it to my fellow countrymen and people throughout the world to spend time saving lives, solving problems, helping people see the future. But as it happens, I love it. I mean, I feel it's a great gift. It's a rewarding way to spend my life. Someone asked you, again, to be too morbid, but this is what you said. He asked you if you could wind up doing more good. The worst challenges of climate change and help to revitalize the economy in the process. But I can actually do that. I mean, because tomorrow when I get up, if they get out in the paper, it's President Bush's responsibility, not mine. That's the job being the former president. And it is true that if you live long enough and you really have great discipline in the way you do this, like this CGI, you might be able to affect as many lives and more for the good as you did as president. When we announced that you were going to be on Fox News Sunday, I got a lot of emails from viewers, and I got to say, I was surprised. Most of them wanted me to ask you this question. Why didn't you do more to put Bin Laden and Al-Qaeda out of business when you were president? There's a new book out you made, it's just like you already read, called The Women's Title. Talks about the fact that when you pulled troops out of Somalia in 1993, Bin Laden said, I have seen the frailty and the weakness and the cowardice of U.S. troops. When there was the bombing of the embassies in Africa and the attack on the Kurds. Okay, let's just let me this was the before and after the attack, the book says that Bin Laden separated his leaders, said them around to respect the attack, and there was no response. I understand that hindsight is always 2020. Let's talk about it. But the question is, why didn't you do more, connect the dots and put them out of business? All right, let's talk about it. I will answer all those things in a minute, but first I want to talk about the context of this situation. I'm being asked this on the Fox Network. ABC just had a right-wing conservative room. They're really halfway to 9/11. An interview with former President Trump. This week, he hosted his second annual Global Initiative Forum in New York. More than $7 billion was spent to tackle some of the worst problems in developing countries, such as poverty, disease, and climate change.
As part of the conference, Mr. Clinton agreed to his first one-on-one interview ever on Fox News Sunday. The ground rules were simple. 15 minutes for our sit-down, split evenly between the globe.
Maybe you got a lot of different moving parts, and you can move them all at once. But you're also more at the mercy of events. That is, President Bush did not want the president to deal with 9/11, but once it happened, it wasn't as if it had an option. Once I looked at that, and then I'll give you much more mundane things. Once I looked at that, after I won the election, I realized that I would have to work more hard to reduce the deficit, and therefore I would have less money in my first year to invest in things I want to invest in.
So what is it that you can do as a former president?
So what you can do as a former president is you don't have a wide range of powers, so you have to concentrate on a few things, but you are less at the mercy of unfolding events. So we're going to work on the economic component of forces. Once I looked at the economic data, the new data after I won the election, I realized that I would have to work much harder to reduce the deficit, and therefore I would have less money in my first year to invest in things I want to invest in.
So what is it that you can do as a former?
But as it happens, I love it. I mean, I feel it's a great gift. It's a rewarding way to spend my life.
Someone asked you, and I'm going to be too more but this is what you said. He asked you if you could wind up doing more good as a former president than as a president. And you said, only if I live a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you rate, compare the powers of being in office as president and what you can do out of office as a former president?
Well, when you're president, you can operate on a much broader scale. For example, you can
I interview with former President Clinton. This week, he hosted his second annual Global Initiative Forum in New York. More than $7 billion was pledged to tackle some of the worst problems in developing countries, such as poverty, disease, and climate change. As part of the conference, Mr. Clinton agreed to his first one-on-one interview ever on Fox News Sunday. The ground rules were simple. 15 minutes for our sit-down, split evenly between the global initiative and anything else we wanted to ask. But as you'll see now in the full, unedited interview, that's not how it turned out. Mr. President, welcome to Fox News Sunday. In a recent issue of the New Yorker, you say, quote, I'm 60 years old and I damn near died, and I'm worried about how many lives I can save before I do die. Is that what drives you in your efforts to help in these developing countries?
Yes, I really, but I don't mean that's sort of morbid when you say it like that. I mean,
I interview with former President Clinton. This week, he hosted his second annual Global Initiative Forum in New York. More than $7 billion was pledged to tackle some of the worst problems in developing countries, such as poverty, disease, and climate change. As part of the conference, Mr. Clinton agreed to his first one-on-one interview ever on Fox News Sunday. The ground rules were simple. 15 minutes for our sit-down, split evenly between the global initiative and anything else we wanted to ask. But as you'll see now in the full, unedited interview, that's not how it turned out.
Countrymen and people throughout the world to sometimes saving lives, solving problems, helping people see the future. But as it happens, I love it. I mean, I feel it's a great gift. It's a rewarding way to spend my life.
Someone asked you, and again, to be too morbid, but this is what you said. He asked you if you could wind up doing more good as a former president than as a president. And you said, only if I live a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you rate, compare the powers of being in office as president and what you can do out of office? As you said, to tackle some of the worst problems in developing countries, such as poverty, disease, and climate change. As part of the conference, Mr. Clinton agreed to his first one-on-one interview ever on Fox News Sunday. The ground rules were simple. 15 minutes for our sit-down, split evenly between the global initiative and anything else we wanted to ask. But as you'll see now in the full, unedited interview, that's not how it turned out. Mr. President, welcome to Fox News Sunday. In a recent issue of the New Yorker, you say, quote, "I'm 60 years old and I damn near died, and I'm worried about how many lives I can save before I do die." Is that what drives you in your efforts to help in these developing countries?
Yes, I really, but I don't mean that sounds sort of morbid when you say it like that. I mean, but the way I said it, the tone in which I said it was actually almost whimsical and musical.
I interview with former President Clinton. This week he hosted his second annual Global Initiative Forum in New York. More than $7 billion was spent to tackle some of the worst problems in developing countries, such as poverty, disease, and climate change. As part of the conference, Mr. Clinton agreed to his first one-on-one interview ever on Fox News Sunday. The ground rules were simple. 15 minutes for our sit-down, split evenly between the global of being in office as president and what you can do out of office as a civil president.
So when you're president, you can operate on a much broader scope. So, for example, you can simultaneously be trying to stop the genocide in Kosovo, make peace in the Middle East, pass a budget that gives millions of kids a chance to have after-school programs and has a huge increase in college aid at home. In other words, you've got a lot of different moving parts, and you can move them all at once. But you're also more at the mercy of events. That is, President Bush did not want the president to deal with 9/11, but once it happened, it wasn't get to that action. Once I looked at that, and I'll give you much more mundane things. Once I looked at the economic data, the new data after I won the election, I realized that I would have to work much harder to reduce the deficit, and therefore would have less money in my first year to invest in something I would invest in.
So what is it? I interview with former President Clinton. This week he hosted his second annual Global Initiative Forum in New York. More than $7 billion was spent to tackle some of the worst problems in developing countries, such as poverty, disease, and climate change. As part of the conference, Mr. Clinton agreed to his first one-on-one interview ever on Fox News Sunday. The ground rules were simple. 15 minutes for our sit-down, split evenly between the global initiative and anything else we wanted to add. But as you'll see now in the full, unedited interview, that's not how it turned out. Mr. President, welcome to Fox News Sunday. In a recent issue of the New Yorker, you say, quote, "I'm 60 years old and I'm near died, and I'm worried about how many lives I can save before I do die." Is that what drives you in your efforts to help in these developing countries?
Yes, I really, but I don't mean that sounds sort of morbid when you say it like that. I mean, but the way I said it, the tone in which I said it was actually almost whimsical and humorous. That is, this is what I love to do. It is what I think I should do. That is, I have had a wonderful life. I got to be president. I got to live it up to my dreams.
I interview with former President Clinton. This week he hosted his second annual Global Initiative Forum in New York. More than $7 billion was spent to tackle some of the worst problems in developing countries, such as poverty, disease, and climate change. As part of the conference, Mr. Clinton agreed to his first one-on-one interview ever on Fox News Sunday. The ground rules were simple. 15 minutes for our sit-down, split evenly between the global initiative and anything else we wanted to add. But as you'll see now in the full, unedited interview, that's not how it turned out. Mr. President, welcome to Fox News Sunday. In a recent issue of the New Yorker, you say, quote, "I'm 60 years old and I damn near died, and I'm worried about how many lives I can save before I do die." Is that such as poverty, disease, and climate change? As part of the conference, Mr. Clinton agreed to his first one-on-one interview ever on Fox News Sunday. The ground rules were simple. 15 minutes for our sit-down, split evenly between the global initiative and anything else we wanted to add. But as you'll see now in the full, unedited interview, that's not how it turned out. Mr. President, welcome to Fox News Sunday. In a recent issue of the New Yorker, you say, quote, "I'm 60 years old and I damn near died, and and I'm worried about how many lives I can save before I do that. Is that what drives you in your efforts to help in these developing countries?
Yes, I really, but I don't mean that sounds sort of morbid when you say it like that. I mean,
But
the way I said it, the tone in which I said it was actually almost whimsical and humorous. That is, this is what I love to do. It is what I think I should do. That is, I have had a wonderful life. I got to be president. I got to live it up my dreams. I dodged a bullet without heart problem. And I really think I owe it to my fellow countrymen and people throughout the world to spend time saving lives, solving problems, helping people see the future. But as it happens, I love it. I mean, I feel it's a great gift. It's a rewarding way to spend my life.
Unedited interview. That's not how it turned out. Mr. President, welcome to Fox News Sunday. In a recent issue of the New Yorker, you say, quote, I'm 60 years old and I damn near died, and I'm worried about how many lives I can save before I do die. Is that what drives you in your efforts to help in these developing countries?
Yes, I really, but I don't mean that sounds sort of morbid when you say it like that. I mean,
but the
way I said it, the tone in which I said it was actually almost whimsical and humorous. That is, this is what I love to do. It is what I think I should do. That is, I have had a wonderful life. I got to be president. I got to live it up my dreams. I dodged the bullet without heart problem.
Someone asked you, again, to be too morbid, but this is what you said. He asked you if you could wind up doing more good as a former president than as a president. And you said, only if I live a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you rate, compare the powers of being in office as president and what you can do out of office as a former president?
Well, when you're president, you can operate on a much broader scope. So, for example, you can simultaneously be trying to stop the genocide in Kosovo, make peace in the Middle East, pass a budget that gives millions of kids a chance to have after-school programs and has a huge increase in college aid at home. You've got a lot of different moving parts.
As part of the conference, Mr. Clinton agreed to his first one-on-one interview ever on Fox News Sunday. The ground rules were simple. 15 minutes to split evenly between the global initiative and anything else we wanted to ask. As you'll see now in the full, unedited interview, that's not how it turned out. Mr. President, welcome to Fox News Sunday. In a recent issue of the New Yorker, you say, quote, I'm 60 years old and I damn near died, and I'm worried about how many lives I can save before I do die. Is that what drives you in your efforts to help in these developing countries?
I think that simultaneously be trying to stop the genocide in Kosovo, make peace in the Middle East, pass a budget that gives millions of kids a chance to have after-school programs and has a huge increase in college aid at home. You've got a lot of different moving parts, and you can move them all at once. But you're also saying fewer things, but you are less at the mercy of unfolding events. So if I say, look, we're going to work on economic empowerment for people and fighting AIDS and other diseases and trying to bridge the religious and political differences between people and trying to, avoid the worst calamities of climate change and help to revitalize the economy in the process. But I can actually do that. I mean, because tomorrow when I get up, if there's a bad headline in the paper, it's this person's responsibility, not mine. That's the joy of being a former president. And it is true that if you live long enough and you really have great discipline in the way you do this, like this CGI, you might be able to affect as many lives or more for the good as you did as president.
When we announced that you were going to be on Fox News Sunday, I got a lot of emails from viewers. I got to say, I was surprised. Most of them wanted me to ask you this question. Why didn't you do more to put Bin Laden and Al-Qaeda out of business when you were president? There's a new book out you made. Our interview with former President Trump. This week, he hosted his second annual Global Initiative Forum in New York. More than $7 billion was spent to tackle some of the worst problems in developing countries, such as poverty, disease, and climate change. As part of the conference, Mr. Clinton agreed to his first one-on-one interview ever on Fox News Sunday. The ground rules were simple. 15 minutes for our sit-down, split evenly between the global initiative and anything else we wanted to ask. But as you'll see now in the full, unedited interview, that's not how it turned out. Mr. President, welcome to Fox News Sunday. In a recent issue of the New Yorker, you say, quote, "I'm 60 years old and I damn near died, and I'm worried about how many lives I can save before I do that." Is that what drives you in your efforts to help in these developing countries?
Yes, I really, but I don't mean that's kind of sort of morbid when you say it like that. I mean, but the way I said it, the tone in which I said it was actually almost musical and humorous. That is, this is what I love to do. It is what I think I should do. That is, I have had a wonderful life. I got to be president. I got to live it up to my dreams. I dodged a bullet without heart problem. And I really think I owe it to my fellow countrymen and people throughout the world to spend time saving lives, solving problems, helping people see the future. But as it happens, I love it. I mean, I feel it's a great gift. I feel it's a rewarding way to spend my life.
Someone asked you, I mean, again, to be too morbid, but this is what you said. He asked you if you could wind up doing more good as a former president than as a president. And you said, only if I live a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you rate, compare the powers of being in office as president and what you can do out of office as a former president?
Well, when you're president, you can operate on a much broader scope. So, for example, you can simultaneously be trying to stop the genocide in Kosovo, make peace in the Middle East, pass a budget that gives millions of kids a chance to have to see the future. But as it happens, I love it. I mean, I feel it's a great gift. I feel it's a rewarding way to spend my life.
Someone asked you, again, to be too morbid, but this is what you said. He asked you if you could wind up doing more good as a former president than as a president. And you said, only if I live a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
Our interview with former President Trump. This week, he hosted his second annual Global Initiative Forum in New York. More than $7 billion was spent to tackle some of the worst problems in developing countries, such as poverty, disease, and climate change. As part of the conference, Mr. Clinton agreed to his first one-on-one interview ever on Fox News Sunday. The ground rules were simple. Our interview with former President Trump. This week, he hosted his second annual Global Initiative Forum in New York. More than $7 billion was spent to tackle some of the worst problems in developing countries, such as poverty, disease, and climate change. As part of the conference, Mr. Clinton agreed to his first one-on-one interview ever on Fox News Sunday. He wanted to ask. But as you'll see now in the full, unedited interview, that's not how it turned out. Mr. President, welcome to Fox News Sunday. In a recent issue of the New Yorker, you say, quote, "I'm 60 years old and I damn near died, and I'm worried about how many lives I can save before I do that." Is that what drives you in your efforts to help in these developing countries?
Yes, I really, but I don't mean that's kind of sort of morbid when you say it like that. I mean, but the way I said it, the tone in which I said it was actually almost whimsical and humorous. That is, this is what I love to do. It is what I think I should do. That is, I have had a wonderful life. I got to be president. I got to live it up to my dreams. I dodged a bullet without heart problem. And I really think I owe it to my fellow countrymen and people. It's what I love to do. It is what I think I should do. That is, I have had a wonderful life. I got to be president. I got to live it up to my dreams. I dodged a bullet without heart problem. And I really think I owe it to my fellow countrymen and people throughout the world to spend time saving lives, solving problems, helping people see the future. But as it happens, I love it. I mean, I feel it's a great gift. I think it's a rewarding way to spend my life.
Someone asked you, I mean, again, to be too morbid, but this is what you said. He asked you if you could wind up doing more good as a former president than as a president. And you said, only if I live a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you rate, compare the powers of being in office as president and what you can do out of office as a senator?
Well, when you're president, you can operate on a much broader scale. So, for example, you can simultaneously be trying to stop the genocide in Kosovo, make peace in the Middle East, provide stability, you don't have problems. And I really think I've opened my fellow countrymen and people throughout the world to spend time saving lives, solving problems, helping people see the future. But as it happens, I love it. I mean, I feel it's a great gift. I think it's a rewarding way to spend my life.
Someone asked you, I mean, again, to be too morbid, but this is what you said. He asked you if you could wind up doing more good as a former president than as a president. And you said, only if I live a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you rate, compare the powers of being in office as president and what you can do out of office as a senator?
Well, when you're president, you can operate on a much broader scale. So, for example, you can simultaneously be trying to stop the genocide in Kosovo, make peace.
Interview with Senate President Trump. This week he hosted it.
You don't have the wide range of powers. So you have to control the worst challenges, the climate change, and helping.